want it too hard and it's gone now.
Circumstances which don't raise suspicion. Some offenders take this tactic even further. They don't just befriend those whose paths they happen to cross. Instead, they seek out positions of power and respect, where not only will they have access to a multitude of potential victims, but they will also attain a level of social standing that will shield them from scrutiny, and also make them more intimidating to question. The most famous example of this phenomenon is child sex abuse within the Catholic Church, but the basic principles apply whether an offender is using a position in the clergy or as a health professional. NASA protests that if someone truly felt uncomfortable with how they were being touched, then you would expect them to say something. In reality, he would have expected no such thing. As a matter of fact, it's safe to assume he was counting on their reluctance to do so. NASA was a widely respected osteotherapist who had treated Olympic-level gymnasts, the natural heroes of some of his victims. Not only did his stature give his victims cause to doubt themselves when they felt as if something was amiss, but he also surely would have been aware of the underlying social dynamics of these situations. You don't need any sort of psychological qualification to understand that it is much more comfortable for the average person to announce to someone they feel physical pain than it is to tell that same person they feel they're being sexually violated.
Not, like you mean like...
Anything. It doesn't have to be physically anything. What do you thought? I don't feel right about this.
Yeah,
I don't
you get
know
your gut feeling. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
And your instinct was probably correct.
Your gut. Well, but that... I don't know. I'm just saying, yeah, you have your sense, everyone has like a sense about them, but...
I was going to give you a business card and I realized that I don't have it. I'm going to go grab one and give you a moment to think and see if you have any other questions for me.
Yeah, I want to know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like I'm very...
I think similar to...
What do you think's going to happen, motherfucker? Hey, why don't you have a seat, bitch? You have to go to jail, motherfucker, forever.
Last time, obviously, the university has to be notified. I have no control over that.
Right.
So I'm sure there will be conversations with your dean or whoever, however that looks. I'm sure you're familiar with that process. We don't get super involved in those processes. But, and then I will continue to investigate.
Okay.
There will be other witnesses to talk to, things like that.
Okay.
And so, like last time, there will be an investigation.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go grab a card. Just so that you can have my information. I'll be right back.
Okay.
He is physically sitting as far out on his seat as he can while still maintaining the idea that he's sitting on that chair. That is not a comfortable position to be in. He's literally on the edge of his seat. That's what, I guess that's what they mean when they say that.
Read over their business card. Before I forget, I'll give you one of those as my email, and also the phone number that I left for you.
I don't know how to explain it more.
The phrase "to be on the edge of one's seat" is one seldom used literally.
Let's go, dude.
It's worth quickly noting just how much NASA has inched himself forward over the course of the last 40 minutes he's been in the room. Though he's doing his best to maintain the appearance of shock and bemusement that helped him avoid a calamity in 2014, everything about Larry Nassar's body language at this moment is indicative of a man who is utterly terrified.
And what, I can't go back in time and remember.
It's the least innocent sitting position, okay?
Okay. But I'm telling you, honestly, it is, I'm trying my best to help the patient. I'm trying to get real-time feedback from them, okay? Mm-hmm. And I've helped so many people, that it hurts my brain to think that someone would, as I'm talking to them, I just don't get it, because I'm trying to prevent that. I don't want to hurt someone, so I'm trying to get real-time. Am I helping? Am I not helping?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you should get feedback from this random cop as well. Real-time feedback about how quickly you're going to fucking get yeeted into jail, dude. Everybody who watches the most guilty-looking person you've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, we are literally looking at edge cases, and these guys are like super duper guilty, dude. These are like the most guilty motherfuckers on the planet. So, you know.
And I try and adjust based upon what they're saying. And so
except for the last guy who apparently wasn't guilty. He was guilty of other shit, but not guilty of the crime that they said he was guilty of.
It's hurtful for me to think that I've hurt someone. You know what I mean? That's just not who I am, okay? You know what I mean?
What would you say if I told you that there may possibly be other complaints?
I mean, I'm doing this treatment a lot. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean?
But why would there be those
double self-report? That's, yo, I do this all the time, dude. Probably a lot of people are complaining. Who knows?
consistent complaints?
You work down there a lot. You know what I mean? If I'm working there a lot, okay, what's gonna...
But if repeated girls are saying that you're not explaining the process and that...
But I feel I'm explaining the process. They may not be understanding it, but I think I was explaining the process. You know what I mean? Like if I'm explaining it and they're not understanding it, then you would expect that they ask for more information.
Have you had other complaints from patients?
No, just the one. You know, but you know, if I have to explain things to patients. You know what I mean? Like, but.
But if they afterwards said, "I feel like you invaded."
No,
violated.
No, nothing like that.
Okay. About how many times do you think you've done this procedure?
It'd be thousands, you know, over the years because it's been a long time.
So do you stay in contact with a lot of your patients after treatment?
A lot of my patients, yeah. You know what I mean? Over the years because they'll come back, you know, I'll see them again and.
Dude. My man wrote molested. I'm sorry. I don't know why that's so funny, dude. Is he really go with the "I'm sorry you felt molested" defense? Sorry. It's such a... I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at that. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let's go. Let's keep going. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. ESL bullying? It's just a very interesting way to spell it. Let's keep going.
And for different injury or, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Do you initiate a lot of the contact with them?
No. I never initiate they initiate the contact.
Okay. I don't really have any other questions right now.
Okay.
What's the best number to call you if I need to?
Let me give you my cell.
Is it what you call?
The interview is wrapped up, and this time, the following investigation would be far more consequential.
Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be satisfying, dude.
On September 20th, Larry Nassar was fired by Michigan State University. The number of women levelling accusations against him snowballed into the dozens and then eventually hundreds. Over the course of several months, he was charged with 22 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct with minors, as well as child pornography charges after investigators discovered over 37,000 illicit images on his computer, as well as a video that allegedly...
shit! Oh, he also had fucking... Oh, straight up, he had child porn on his fucking computer, too. Like, we're not just talking about the fucking... The hard drives full of, like, techniques, right? That's crazy. Why is the number ridiculous with CP? Yeah, it's wild. It's never like they found 3 instances of child pornography. It's always like there was a fucking terabyte of child pornography. You know what I mean? These dudes they don't exercise moderation with their child pornography. They they just hoard so much.
Showed him molesting girls in a pool, although he initially attempted to continue maintaining his innocence. When the daunting nature of the case against him finally became apparent, Nasser entered guilty pleas. The court proceedings were something to behold. As part of Nasser's sentencing hearing, Judge Rosemary Aquilina allowed 156 victims to read
each frame of a video counts? Wait, what? Wait, really? Is that why they say like 37K? No, no way.
extended impact statements which Nasser had to sit through over the course of several days.
I'm addressing you publicly today as a final step and statement to myself that I have nothing to be ashamed of. I met Larry Nasser when I was somewhere around the age of 5 years old. My parents had become close friends with Larry and his wife Stephanie. They were all medical professionals and shared a passion for the subject. Most Sundays, Stephanie and my mother would cook dinner together for both families. We shared sporting events, holidays, and many weekends in between. It was during this time, I estimate I was approximately 6 years old, that Larry Nasser began to sexually abuse me. He first exposed his penis to me in a dark boiler room in the basement of his home. He told me, if you ever want to see it, all you have to do is ask. He used his power as an adult to manipulate me. Over a 6-year period, he progressed from exposure to masturbating in front of me while playing hide-and-go-seek, rubbing his bare penis on my bare feet, and penetrating my vagina with his fingers. All of which took place with my parents, my sibling, his wife, and his children in the same house. It took the media coverage of the sexual abuse scandal in the Catholic Church and a friend confining the details of her sexual abuse for me to realize that something was wrong.
Dude,
I was 12 years old when I told my parents, when Larry rubs my feet, he uses his penis. My parents confronted him and he denied any such action. Due to complex details that I won't get into here, my parents chose to believe Larry Nasser over me.
Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, yo, fuck your parents too, low key. Holy shit, dude. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Oh my God.
I spent the years between 12 and 18 avoiding and detaching from my family. To my father, someone who makes such heinous, false accusations is the worst type of person. His belief that I had lied seeped into the foundation of our relationship. Every time we got into a fight, he would tell me, "You need to apologize to Larry." I learned to ask for very little, as I wanted my parents to know that I didn't need them, just as I felt they didn't want me. It wasn't until I was about to leave for college, when my father again pulled the "You need to apologize" card, that I took another chance at clearing my name. I told him that I wasn't lying, and that Larry Nasser had indeed sexually abused me. Larry Nasser's actions had already caused me significant anguish, but I hurt worse as I watched my father realize what he had put me through. My father and I did our best to patch up our tattered relationship before he committed suicide in 2016. Admittedly, my father was experiencing debilitating health issues. But had he not had to bear the shame and self-loathing that stemmed from his defense of Larry Nasser, I believe he would have had a fighting chance for his life. My relationship with my mother is still marbled with pain, anger, and resentment. And for a long time, I told people that I did not have a family. Your Honor, with your permission, I would now like to address the defendant.
You may.
After my parents confronted you, they brought you back to my house to speak with me. Sitting on my living room couch, I listened to you tell me no one should ever do that, and if they do, you should tell someone. Well, Larry, I'm here, not to tell someone, but to tell everyone.
Holy fuck.
You convinced my parents that I was a liar. That you didn't strategically place lotion in the basement so you could beat your penis in my face while I hid. But I still get sick at the smell of that lotion. You convinced my parents that you didn't pull my feet into your lap, unzip your pants, and rub your erect penis against my bare skin. But I still flinch when my feet are near someone's lap. You convinced my parents that you didn't stick your fingers in my adolescent vagina. But I knew when it was time to use my first tampon, not to worry, because my hymen wasn't intact. You used my body for 6 years for your own sexual gratification. That is unforgivable. I've been coming for you for a long time. I've told counselors your name in hopes that they would report you. I have reported you to Child Protective Services twice. I gave a testament to get your medical license revoked. You were first arrested on my charges.
Dude, every single person that was involved in not throwing Larry Nassar under the jail from the first moment that this allegation came through is also responsible for the 200 plus instances where this exact same thing happened to 200 plus other families. Straight up. Literally, like, all of those fucking people, all of the adults that touched this case and didn't do anything about it are not equally at fault, but should hopefully feel the pain that they've caused so many other people. That's fucking insane.
And now, as the only non-medical victim to come forward, I testify to let the world know that you are a repulsive liar and that those treatments were pathetically veiled sexual abuse. Perhaps you have figured it out by now, but little girls don't stay little forever. They grow into strong women that return to destroy your world.
God
In 2014,
damn. That's fucking nuts, dude. That is like, holy shit. I
had an appointment with Larry Nassar for hip and back pain. From childhood appointments and hearing about him professionally from my mom, I knew he was a big deal. Dr. Larry Nassar was a trusted name in the medical field, and I felt lucky to have an opportunity to see such a prolific doctor for old high school injuries. At the end of a long and tiring appointment, that man sent his resident out of the room and then stuck his hand up my shirt and down my pants. He sexually assaulted me in spite of my protests and would not let me leave.
I'm not going to tell you how to run your stream, man, but you could do without this kind of content in the future. Not going to lie, these victim testimonies are fucking horrifying. I mean, dude, I gave you a trigger warning. You know what the details of this case are. I understand that it's like, you know, too much, but if you consider it to be like something that you can't watch, then you can leave. There's physically nothing more I can do beyond, like, you know, issue a trigger warning and let you know, which is more than what most people would do regardless. But yeah, just fucking leave then. Seriously.
Leave until I agreed to come back for a follow-up assault. It was terrifying and disgusting, and I spent days in shock from the violation I had experienced at his hands.
Also, like, you're not exactly, you know, I mean, these are victims that are offering this public testimony on purpose. They've made amends with their, they've made amends with, well, not made amends, but they have come to recognize the brutality that they were subjected to and are willing to go public with that testimony. I say that in a certain way, it's not the worst thing that you get to hear that, no matter how fucking gruesome and horrific it might be, which is precisely why I issue a trigger warning, because if you have personal trauma that is going to reignite as a consequence of hearing these sorts of things, then you can leave ahead of time. Do you know what I mean? But for people who don't, it's good that they get to hear it.
I knew he was a praised doctor, a healer of Olympic gymnasts. He was the miracle worker, Larry Nassar, and he had just abused me on his appointment table. After finally finding the courage to make the call, I contacted a doctor I knew worked with Larry Nassar and told him my story. It was uncomfortable and embarrassing, and I felt like throwing up the entire time, but I did it, and I hoped the worst was over with. Dr. Kovan thanked me for coming forward and told me we would be in touch soon. Eventually, I did get a phone call from Christine Moore at MSU's Office of Institutional Equity, and I started to feel hopeful again. She asked to hear the details of my complaint, and when I started to explain exactly where Larry put his hands without gloves or another person present in the room, she wanted to meet with me in person immediately. I again relayed my story to her and a police officer, and I thought maybe this time I would be taken seriously. The investigation done by MSU was brief and sloppy, and it left me feeling disposable and worthless.
True.
After asking a few of
The person who conducted that investigation, by the way, the really shitty one that we watched and criticized, that person, some of you may have tuned in late, I think is no longer the MSUPD captain and was charged with carrying a gun and driving while intoxicated and arrested recently on February 10th of this year. So
his friends if what he did was inappropriate and getting a collective answer of, well, I would have done it differently, but I guess what he did was okay. Larry Nassar was cleared to practice again under new guidelines that were never actually
and then ended up molesting 70 more women.
enforced.
Or girls, not women, sorry. Literal fucking little girls.
Since this case was reopened, I've struggled to even leave my bed on some of my worst days. I wake up crying, feeling empty, and my anxiety about facing the world paralyzes me. Sometimes I call loved ones, but most of the time I'm too embarrassed to call. So I spend another morning crying under the covers for hours before dragging myself out of bed and going to work, where I spend the day nervous and restless and uneasy around everyone. What happened to me bleeds into every area of my life, and I feel tense and fearful all of the time. When Larry Nassar sexually assaulted me and MSU covered for him, they altered the entire course of my life. From my career path to just the way I navigate through crowded rooms, everything has changed. Sometimes I'm terrified that these scars are too deep and I will never be whole again. But I cannot allow myself to remain a victim any longer because I am a survivor. And even though he left me with these scars, I survived what that evil man did to me. Someday I will be whole again. And Larry, the thing you didn't realize while you were sexually assaulting me and all of these young girls and breaking our lives is that you were also building an army of survivors who would ultimately expose you for what you truly are,
I mean, literally.
a sexual predator. You might have broken us, but from this rubble, we will rise as an army of female warriors who will never let you or any man drunk off of power get away with such evil ever again.
At age 15, when I suffered from chronic back pain, Larry sexually assaulted.
This is Rachel Den Hollander, who is, for those of you who are just tuning in late, this is part of the reason why this case came to light, who literally took her own trauma, her own sexual assault, documented it, journaled it, went to other medical professionals to learn whether or not it was like the appropriate medical thing to do at the time. Took it to numerous authorities, took it to the media, became an attorney in that process, and absolutely fucking comstered and dumpstered this dude.
Assaulted me repeatedly under the guise of medical treatment for nearly a year. He did so with my own mother in the room, carefully and perfectly obstructing her view so that she would not know what he was doing. His ability to gain my trust and the trust of my parents, his grooming and carefully calculated brazen sexual assault was the result of deliberate, premeditated, intentional, and mythological patterns of abuse, patterns that were rehearsed long before I walked through Larry's exam room door, and which continued to be perpetrated, I believe, on a daily basis for 16 more years until I filed the police report. Larry is the most dangerous type of abuser, one who is capable of manipulating his victims through coldly calculated grooming methodologies, presenting the most wholesome and caring external persona as a deliberate means to ensure a steady stream of young children to assault. Not long after I stopped seeing Larry, I transitioned from athlete to coach. And every day that I nurtured those baby gymnasts, I wondered if any of them would find their way into his exam room. When one of my little girls was finally referred to him, I took a chance and I spoke up. And I was kindly cautioned for my own sake to remain silent. My little baby gymnast was sent to Larry before I even knew a decision had been made to do so. Her family moved away almost immediately thereafter, and I wept for that little girl, and I prayed to God that she was under the age range that Larry preferred. She was 7. But when I filed my police report, Kyle Stevens came forward, and she was 6, a year younger than my little girl. And I cried in my kitchen, and I don't know yet if that little girl walked out the same as she walked in. The cost, emotional and physical, to see this through has been greater than many will ever know. And Larry, I don't need to tell you what the cost of your abuse has been to me, because you got to read my journals, every word of them, because those had to go into evidence to make this happen.
Oof.
But I want you to understand why I made this choice, knowing full well what it was going to cost to get here, and with very little hope of ever succeeding. I did it because it was right. No matter the cost, it was right. And the farthest I can run from what you have become is to daily choose what is right instead of what I want. You have become a man ruled by selfish and perverted desires, a man defined by his daily choices over and over again to feed that selfishness and perversion. You chose to pursue your wickedness no matter what it cost others. And the opposite of what you have done is for me to choose to love sacrificially, no matter what it costs me. In our early hearings, you brought your Bible into the courtroom, and you have spoken of praying for forgiveness, and so it is on that basis that I appeal to you. If you have read the Bible you carry, you know that the definition of sacrificial love portrayed is of God himself, loving so sacrificially that he gave up everything to pay a penalty for the sin he did not commit. By his grace, I too choose to love this way. You spoke of praying for forgiveness, but lady, if you have read the Bible you carry, you know forgiveness does not come from doing good things, as if good deeds can erase what you have done. It comes from repentance, which requires facing and acknowledging the truth about what you have done in all of its utter depravity and horror, without mitigation, without excuse, without acting as if good deeds can erase what you have seen in this courtroom today. The Bible you carry says it is better for a millstone to be thrown around your neck and you thrown into a lake than for you to make even one child stumble. And you have damaged hundreds. The Bible you speak carries a final judgment where all of God's wrath and its eternal terror is poured out on men like you. Should you ever reach the point of truly facing what you have done, the guilt will be crushing. And that is what makes the gospel of Christ so sweet, because it extends grace and hope and mercy where none should be found. And it will be there for you. I pray you experience the soul-crushing weight of guilt so that you may someday experience true repentance and true forgiveness from God, which you need far more than forgiveness from me, though I extend that to you as well.
I mean, technically, she's not far off from what chat was saying with, like, throw him in the volcano. She's saying, like, you know, the Bible dictates that you got to go in the water with a fucking weight around your neck. You know what I mean? But why the fuck are atheists in the chat making fun of Geo Megalol D? I mean, you guys have been saying throw him in the volcano. She's just using the biblical terminology for it.
During that process, NASA wrote a lengthy letter to the court in which he essentially complained the litany of victim impact statements was gratuitous and Judge Aquilina's decision was an act of
Gratuitous. Bro, are you fucking kidding me? Motherfucker said the victim impact testimony was gratuitous. Well, that's what happens when you fucking rape 250 girls, dude. It's, you know, there's a lot of victims, dog. You know?
Grandstanding. Judge Aquilina responded by addressing portions of the letter in court while delivering an absolute tongue-lashing to Nassar. Such a tongue-lashing, in fact, that there probably is a reasonable argument to be made that the judge was going beyond her role as an impartial adjudicator. But appropriate or not, there's no denying it was a satisfying moment for just about everyone assembled in the courtroom.
Sir, there's a few sentences in here that concern me. I may address more at sentencing, but right now, your letter states, now Aquilina is having a 4-day sentencing media circus. Let me address that. I don't think there's any surprise because media has followed you in the federal system at every stage here, and they will likely be there with Judge Cunningham, and that's no surprise, is it?
No, it's not a surprise.
Okay. Anyways, Aquilina is allowing them all to talk.
He's like, I didn't really appreciate when one of my victims told the gruesome story of how her dad fucking committed suicide as a consequence of what I did to her. You know, just that was like unbecoming. It's like, dude, you did that. You know what I mean? You probably, you know, you shouldn't have done that. That's a good way to start.
It goes on to say, there are a couple of other lines. She wants me to sit in the witness box next to her for all 4 days, so the media cameras will be directed toward her. I don't need any cameras. You certainly are free not to take my picture. I don't have a dog in this fight, sir. I didn't orchestrate this, you did, by your actions and by your plea of guilty. And I want to remind you on page 3 of the plea agreement, paragraph 4. I'm going to read it to you so you clearly understand this isn't about me at all. It's about you, the agreement, and mostly the victim.
I went to see for fun, and this son of a bitch got beaten for an hour in a high-security prison in the United States Penitentiary in Tucson 1 hour after he arrived. Wait, really? They beat his ass? I mean, there's no shot. I think cops will beat his ass. Not even like, first of all, this dude has to be in solitary for the rest of his life, for the rest of his prison sentence. Because, like, even other pedophiles that are supposed to be separated from Gen Pop would probably still murder him. You know what I mean? Like, he's so bad that, like, other pedophiles would be like, what you did was fucked up. We're gonna kill you. So no shot does he even get, like, he can't even be in whatever the different section is of the prison where all, like, the snitches and the pedophiles are. Larry Nassar committed suicide in February. He's dead. No, he's not. Why are people saying he's dead? He's not fucking dead, dude. Why do people say that? Like, he's literally fucking alive, dude. I don't know why people say that. I think you guys are thinking of either Jeffrey Epstein or you're thinking of another wrestling coach. I think there was a wrestling coach who killed himself. Or Olympics gymnast coach with ties to Larry Nassar commits suicide after being charged with multiple crimes. John Geddert. That's not Larry Nassar. But apparently he was attacked. Disgraced sports doctor Nassar attacked in prison and deserves resentencing, lawyers say. Bro, don't do that, brother. If he gets resentencing, they're gonna fucking triple. You're gonna be like, you have 150 years. We've decided we should do a resentencing to 300 years. Once his 60-year federal term for child porn possession ends, he would begin serving the 40 to 175-year sentence in state prison that Aquilina gave him for the sexual assaults. All pedos in prison get the green light. My ex's dad was sentenced to 8 years in San Quentin for touching her sister and got clapped 6 months before he was scheduled for release. There's no way someone like Nassar isn't in solitary. Yeah, if you're a pedophile and you even touch general population, someone will fucking shank the living shit out of you immediately. Also, the cops, I mean, the corrections officers literally look the other way. Why are you against the death sentence? I'm still very much against the death sentence.
So they can start healing.
Like the fact that the corrections officers let him in or anywhere near Gen Pop means that they wanted him to get his ass beat and possibly murdered.
Paragraph 4, victim impact statements. The defendant agrees to allow all victims or their parent/representative to give victim impact statements at defendant's sentencing hearing. Included shall be the 125 victims who have reported their assaults to Michigan State University Police Department and the other acts victims who have been identified on the people's list. It says included, not limited to. There's a Crime Victims' Rights Act. It allows for the healing of victims and for them to come forward. Now, you may find it harsh that you are here listening, but nothing is as harsh as what your victims endured for thousands of hours at your hands, collectively. You spent thousands of hours perpetrating criminal sexual conduct on minors, spending 4 or 5 days listening to them is significantly minor considering the hours of pleasure you had at their expense and ruining their lives. None of this should come as a surprise to you.
I'm surprised some fucking right-wingers at the time didn't pull like this female judge is being like too emotional. Did they? I wonder if they did. Like, I could totally see like a Ben Shabibo being like, how can you be an impartial judge? Wait, let's take a look. I gotta find it. How do you say it? Or how do you? Aquilina. I mean, Vox wrote the moment the judge in the Larry Nassar case crossed the line, Vox wrote an article about it.
Judge Aquilina is seeking media attention over court protocol. Really? This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Larry Nassar, not Judge Aquilina. I'm doing my job. I try to do it well, unlike what you did. Because of my heart, I passed out twice the morning of federal sentencing. I'm sorry about that, sir. I wish you well. I don't know anything about that. Again, I didn't pay attention to what happened there because this is separate. Now, this is entertaining to me, I have to say. Aquilina said if I pass out, she'll have the EMTs revive me and then prop me up in the witness box. I suspect you've watched too much television. This isn't worth the paper it's written on. There's no truth in here. It's delusional. You need to talk about these issues with a therapist, and that is not me. Contrary to CNN's headline, I'm not a therapist.
Of course, dude. Of course, Washington Examiner wrote an article as well, dude. How did she cross the line? To be fair, I mean, judges are never impartial. Okay, that's one. And the actual fucking problem with judges is not like a judge like Rosemary Aquilina getting, like, revealing her true feelings a little bit. In this case, on a very open and shut case where, like, you know, this dude is going to jail a million times over. But the real problem with judges who are not impartial is when they fucking let off like rapists and shit. Let's be real. That is a significantly more common occurrence that goes unnoticed in every single circumstance. The only reason why that would be a little bit unacceptable is possibly because, like, you could appeal it, I guess. Like, it opens up you know, it opens up an opportunity to, like, appeal. And also, he had already pleaded guilty at this point. Her feelings post-verdict should not matter as they have not affected the plea the defendant is accepted. No, but she's still going to adjudicate. What are you talking about? Just because he pleaded guilty does not fucking mean that... Just because he pleaded guilty does not mean that, like, she's not done adjudicating. She still has to... she has to decide on sentencing and shit. So, you're wrong. Except... they did appeal, as often in these cases people do regardless. And from what I understand, the Attorney General declared that she was impartial and there was no problems. There were no wrongdoing. Fox News had a video on it. Why are you gaslighting your chat? What do you mean? Oh my God, this dude is literally saying that Larry Nassar is dead. Why are you gaslighting your chat? What? Bro, are you all right, dude? Ben Shapiro talked about
This is
it?
something that you have to like, because it is not something I like as much as.
Oh no, this is not. This is just the victim's father attacking. We're gonna watch that in a second if they don't show this in this one.
And I certainly, if I was, would not be your therapist. Now, there are other highlights I may address at sentencing or during this. I think we've wasted enough time this morning.
The dude who wrote the Daily Caller article Might have had a horse in the race defending pedophiles? Why do you say that? I think the funniest part about this is 150 times 3 equals 300. I think that's like the funniest part about this.
This morning, so I tried to avoid a trial to save the stress.
Oh, I said that? It's because when you said 3 times 150 to 300? When did I say that? I said that? I don't even remember. Sorry, boys. My brain is fucking
to this
fried.
community, my family, the victims. Yet look what is happening. It is wrong. I was a good doctor because my treatments worked, and those patients that are now speaking out were the same ones that praised and came back over and over and referred family and friends to see me. The media convinced them that everything I did was wrong and bad. They feel I broke their trust. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. It is just a complete nightmare. I was so manipulated by the AG and now Aquilina, and all I wanted was to minimize stress to everyone, like I wrote earlier.
Wow. Bro, this dude is like, he's buck wild, dude. I mean, he's out of his fucking mind. Like, what was he thinking with this? Like, dude, this is the one thing that, like, most Republicans won't even fucking defend. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. This is the thing that, like, even the grossest motherfuckers can't get themselves to defend. You know what I mean?
Would you like to withdraw your plea?
No, Your Honor.
Because you are guilty, aren't you? Are you guilty, sir?
I have said my plea, exactly.
When all was said and done, Larry Nassar was sentenced to 175 years in prison for 7 counts of sexual assault of minors and an additional 40 to 125 years for 3 counts of sexual assault. One of the deep tragedies of severe crimes like sexual assault is that there can never really be ultimate justice. No matter how much a perpetrator is punished, there's no reversing the acts that inflicted emotional trauma on their victims. One hopes that all of them will be able to move forward with their lives and find themselves in a place that could be described as emotionally and mentally at peace. But the sad reality is that while many survivors are able to find themselves in such a place, more or less, even for them, there will usually be a sense of lost trust and violation that can never be fully repaired. Internal scars that will never quite heal. It's an agonizing prospect not just for victims, but also their loved ones. It's hard to imagine the torment a parent must feel when their child has been damaged in such a way, and there's nothing they can do to guarantee they'll be fully restored. It's a horrible situation that all of us can only hope we'll never find ourselves in. But if we ever do, that we'll be able to give the best emotional support possible and show them just how much they are cared for in every way we can.
If you have some words that you would like to say, I would like to give you the opportunity to say them.
I would ask you to, as part of this sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in a locked room with this demon.
I have
Would
a feeling.
you do that?
That is not how
Yes
our.
or no?
No, sir, I can't.
Would you
do
give me
that.
1 minute?
You know that I can't do that. That's not.
Like, people are laughing. He's not laughing. Like, other people are like, haha, he's kidding, right? Like, he's like, nah. Like, just give me 30 seconds, dude.
Not how our legal system.
Well, I'm gonna have to
You can't land every shot you take, but the main thing is giving it your all.
That was awesome. You guys want to watch that in fucking multiple different angles? Let's take a look.
Can't do that. That's not how our legal
Well,
system
I'm gonna
works.
have to
Fuck, dude.
Thank you for letting us hear your voice.
Judge, what a distraught father have a chance to say something.
So fucking close, dude. God damn it. They're really not gonna let him have one? Like, that's kind of fucked up. They should just let him have one shot. You know what I mean? This is like the one instance where they should just let him.
You son of a bitch.
No, we don't want to swear.
I would ask you to, as part of this sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in a locked room with this demon.
I have
Would you do that?
That is not how
Yes or
our...
no?
Also, you know what's funny? It's like, what is that lawyer doing, bro? Like, why are you putting your body in between this righteous dad and like literally the worst fucking client that you've ever taken on?
No, sir, I can't.
Would you give me 1 minute?
You know that I can't do that. That's not how our legal system works.
Is he wearing an IBEV? Yeah, he is. International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, fucking long sleeve. Dude, those cops are way too quick, dude. I've never seen cops move so fucking fast, dude. What are they doing? Great take, Hassan. Let's just beat prisoners? No, of course not, dude. Obviously not. Look. Obviously not, okay? It's not what I'm saying. This is just a little bit, this is testing everybody's frames a little bit, okay? Just like, just a tiny bit. You know what I mean? Just as a treat, dude. As a treat. He goes, let me out of me, son of a bitch. It's a treat, dude. You just let him have like just a little baby bit. You know what I mean? A little nibble.
I want that son of a bitch. Behind your back. 1 minute.
Relax, sir. Relax. Take it easy, buddy. Just relax. Okay.
What if this happened to you guys?
No one can behave like this. I want to make sure it's crystal clear.
You haven't lived through it, lady.
You cannot behave like this. I understand Mr. Margrave's frustration, but you cannot do this. This is not helping your children. This is not helping your community. This is not helping us. This is not helping the police department.
It's not funny to joke about violence, bruh. You're right. I should not be laughing that poor dad got brutalized by some bailiffs there. You're correct. I want to make it, I want to clarify that I do not condone the police violence that he was subjected to in that courtroom. Okay? Just saying. You're right. The violence that dad was subjected to is unacceptable, and I should not be laughing. I don't know. I think Nassar taking one clean shot to the face would have helped the community at least a little.
Use your words, use your experiences to get him into change. Do not use physical violence.
We cannot react by using physical violence and assault against someone who is and has performed criminal acts. That's not how our system works.
I'm just saying that he tried and he got so close. And honestly, sometimes when you put in the effort, it's just like he put in the effort, boys. And he got so fucking close. You know, it just feels bad to see someone get so close and then, you know, for a brief moment, like you think it's going to happen. and then it doesn't, and it just kind of sucks, you know? That's what it was, I think. Judge let him go? Yeah. He didn't get any charges. This guy is laughing. He's like, maybe I shouldn't be diving right now. Just... Why? Like, why would you... Like, what are you doing? As a lawyer, what are you doing? Like, why are you... As a defense attorney, like... Why are you taking it to that level? I truly don't understand. It is way too extra. Kind of like a Twitch streamer telling you that at the top of the hour is when the ads come. And doing it at 8:51. You know what I mean? And telling you that there's a 60-second ad break coming right now. And then following that up by telling you that if you no longer want to see said ads, all you need to do is subscribe. That you can subscribe for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime. I'm on fire today, boys. I'm actually on fire today. I'm unstoppable today. I don't know what happened, but I'm just fucking unstoppable with these breaks. Ben Shapiro reacted to that victim's father attacking Nassar, and for once he didn't have a shit take. I don't want to watch that. Okay. Here's the 1 minute ad break now, boys. What? Have you ever seen the video of the dude that shot his daughter's rapist in the head right outside the courtroom in Texas? Judge forgave him? No shot. What? This guy got a fair shot?
An outrage.
Over what happened to their beloved.
Wait, really? Bro, get the fuck out of here, dude. It's Hyper TOS. Yeah, I don't want to watch that if there's like... It's true, he fucking headshot the guy and wasn't punished? No fucking shot. Wait. He wasn't punished? No charge for Texas dad who killed his daughter's rapist? Okay, that's... I low-key draw the line there, dude. That's crazy. Like, you can't just fucking go and do a murder like that. What the fuck? Yo, Texas is literally... Texas is an insane place. U.S. father who found his 5-year-old daughter being raped and beat the attacker to death. Oh, no, that's different, dude. No. That's understandable. This makes sense. You guys are mistaking it. Yeah, he found his 5-year-old daughter being raped and then beat the attacker to death, and he's not going to be charged. Okay, that was in the process of the crime, dude. That is an entirely different fucking situation. This is a whole different one. That is understandable. And also, video don't watch on stream. No, I'm not gonna watch that. You think of Gary Plosh, American vigilante. Let's see. He was an American vigilante for known for the vigilante killing of Jeff Doucette, who had kidnapped and molested Plosh's son, Jody. The killing occurred on Friday and was captured on camera by a local news crew. Although Plosh shot and killed Doucette, he was given a 7-year suspended sentence with 5 years probation. Oh my God. And he received no prison time? What the fuck? Okay, that's actually crazy. The other dude not going to jail for like killing his child's rapist, that makes sense. This, on the other hand, is that's kind of wild. That is so Texas, dude. What the fuck? Psychological reports helped Plosh's case after it was learned that Doucette had abused Jody months prior to the kidnapping. Oh my God. They determined he couldn't tell the difference between right and wrong when he killed Doucette. He was driven to a temporarily psychotic state after he learned the abuse of his son. What the fuck? How does that work? Okay, that's actually insane, dude. That's actually fucking insane. It's Louisiana, not Texas. I mean, it's the same shit, dude. Yeah, it's Baton Rouge, boys. It's in Louisiana. Is it Louisiana? That is like... Because no one in Louisiana would have convicted him. Your Honor, my client here, Leon Gary Plosh, is the most innocent man in Louisiana. Your Honor, it was a clean kill. You will not find a single man in Louisiana that will convict this man in a jury. That's so stupid, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. You can hear the detectives who were escorting Doucette yelling, "Why, Gary, why?" as they were arresting him. Yana. He was very calm during the murder. Judges ruled prison wouldn't have done anything for him. Basically, this killing was like an exception. He wouldn't have just gone killing people. You can't, I mean, I'm not on board with like vigilante justice like this, for the record. I actually do think that it's crazy. Okay, I'll watch it afterwards. The clip is insane. Okay, I'll watch it now. Fuck. Hold on. Give me the clip again. I'll watch it off stream. Like, I mean, I'll watch it, but I won't watch it. Okay, here. Wait, where is it?
Had abducted 11-year-old Jody Plochet several weeks earlier and taken him to California. When Jody was rescued and returned to his family, his father Gary was coping with reports that Doucette had sexually assaulted his son.
We didn't know what to do. You just feel helpless.
10 days later, when the police flew Doucette back to face trial, Gary Plochet was waiting with a gun.
As the suspect came through the airport, I readied my camera, raised it up, to get a close-up shot of him. As I got a close-up shot and as he got parallel to me, Gary Plauché shoots and kills him.
Oh my God, I said, why, Gary?
Gary, why? Gary, why?
Oh my God, that is cold, dude. I mean, you can kind of show this. Like, Hassan, imagine wearing a kill all pedophile shirt. Also, Hassan will do violence against pedos. Okay, listen. The fucking kill all pedophiles shirt is a telltale sign that there was like someone is a fucking QAnon sicko. All right? It's a little bit different than like, you know, enjoying a little bit what I'm seeing here. There's a book about it written by the son called Why Gary Why. Dude, it is crazy. He is like, dude, he's so, it's like some fucking Agent 47 hitman assassination shit, dude. He's just like fake on the payphone, turns around, fucking claps him. Like, pretty wild.
Parallel to me.
He just like a gunslinger, dude. He's on a payphone and he just bam turns around, claps him, gets arrested, out, in and out, dude.
Shoots and kills him.
Gary, why?
Gary, why? Gary, why? And to this day, it stands out in my mind. The shooter, Gary Plauché, says, if it had been your child, you would have done the same thing too.
Today, Abram McGough is an assistant U.S. attorney and views that tape through the eyes of a federal prosecutor.
I would have to say the videotape was the most ideal witness in this case. You can actually see him take the...
Dude, look. That's the rapist. That's the dad. He's on a fucking phone booth, okay? I'm not going to actually show you, like, exactly what's going on, but he literally turns around and 360 no-scopes him, dude. It's crazy.
Gun out of his boot, pull it up.
Dude, look at this. Look. Here. He, like, pulled the fucking gun out. It's crazy.
To the shoulder lever of Jeff Doucette and pull the trigger and shoot him.
It's wild because it's off frame. You never actually see the murder. You never actually see the murder because, like, he literally perfectly times it. It's like right there. It's crazy. It could have gone very, very differently, by the way. Yeah, motherfucker said it's high noon, dude. That's crazy. Why, Gary? Why? I do see the head blow back. Yeah, it's crazy. You see, like, for a mini frame, you see the head cock back after it gets shot, and that's it. And then he hangs up the phone. That's the funniest part, dude. He literally turns around and hangs up the phone, dude, before he gets arrested. What the fuck? The Jody Plosh story, written by Jody Plosh. Why, Gary? Why? There was a story that he was calling collect. He was calling the CEO of Justice. It's pretty funny. Anyway, that's a little different. I mean, he got a vac ban after that, actually. He got a vac ban for fucking aimbotting. Man, this video and this shit was the exact opposite of the other thing that we were watching. The 1-800 whatever the fuck we were watching. The Canadian phone number shit. 1-800 golf tip. Like that was the most interesting story in Canada, dude. Oh, I have a bit of a headache. I don't know what's going on. Listen, I know I said I was gonna play Ratchet and Clank today, but it's already 10 hours in and I'm fucking tired, dude. Sorry, boys. FaZe Gary. I got a headache from your takes, XD. Oh, well, don't worry. You don't have to fucking hear him no more because I'm going to hit that 3-minute last ad here and then I'm going to end it. But this was another fun day. There will be gaming tomorrow. I keep saying I want to do gaming and then I keep getting sucked into the fucking crack cocaine that is true crime, dude. I keep saying like we're gonna game today, and then I keep getting sucked in. Okay, I will play Ratchet and Clank tomorrow. I will. Holy shit, dude. Fuck. I'm so hot right now too. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'll go to my PO box as well and grab more PO boxes before I do the PO box because there's some more shit that came in. Ever since you mentioned Ratchet and Clank, there's been people spamming furry memes and shit in your Discord every day. I hate to bring this up to you, but I promise to you that they're not spamming furry shit because of Ratchet and Clank. They would have been spamming that shit regardless. That's just normal Discord stuff. Minecraft where? All right. Anyway. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. And that's it. Good night, guys.